So, there's something different about Anthony Edwards, and you can feel it the second he steps on the floor. The swag, the fearlessness, the way he talks, the way he walks, and the way he believes he's supposed to be here. And when I say here, I'm referring to being a top player in the NBA. Most 24-year-olds are either figuring out their role or are already solidified as a role player. But Ant, he's trying to take over the NBA and nothing less. But here's what nobody's really talking about. Being a superstar and being the one are two completely different things. You can put up numbers, you can make all-star teams, you can even be one of the best players in the league. But can you carry a franchise to a championship? Can you be the best player on the floor in June? Can you impose your will when everything's on the line? That's the question hanging over Anthony Edwards right now. And with the way he's been playing this season, we might be in store for something special. He may not be known as one of the best defenders in the league or anything like that, but when times do call for it, Ant can sit down and slide his feet. Hart now has to deal with immense pressure when coming up the floor, which leads to Edwards poking the ball out, and now you have to watch him slam it home.
Edwards the steal! Edwards the hammer!
Now this is a different game he's playing, but same energy. As when Ant has the ball instead of defending, he has no problem creating space from Kuzma by using that step back to make him touch the earth. Then when pushing towards the rim, he goes right into the contact and stays strong to kiss this off the glass for the and one.
Edwards drives into traffic. Wow, got the finish, and he drew the foul.
That right there is a statement that he's gonna get a bucket whenever he sets his mind to it. And when in crunch time, Edwards doesn't shy away from the moment either. When he receives the high screen here, Wemby is in drop, probably ready for Edwards to attack the basket. But when you're a near 41% shooter from deep range, this is when you rise up with no hesitation.
And he's got 51 points.
3 possessions, 3 different aspects of what makes Anthony Edwards dangerous. That defensive intensity can shift momentum. The physical finishing can break defenders' spirits. And that shot creation can all out win you games. But here's what we're really trying to answer. Can all of that skill translate into him being the one? Well, let's start with the foundation. Ant is 6'4", 225 pounds of pure explosion. He's got that frame of a linebacker paired with the athleticism of an Olympic sprinter. But what makes him dangerous isn't just the physical tools. It's the fact that he wants to be that guy. He's not shying away from the pressure, he's not deferring to anyone else on the floor, as he walks into every arena like he owns the place. And when he starts getting to the rim, here's where you first notice it's gonna be insanely hard to stop him. For example, when he doesn't initially have the ball and a defender gambles to get the steal when it's passed to him, Edwards immediately will attack that to get into the middle of the floor. And although he has a lob to Rudy Gobert on his backside, sometimes he likes to show off his footwork. So that's when we see him use that Euro to all out cook his defender to then slip it in. These closeouts can give Ant all the advantage he needs to get downhill, because with defenders so worried about that 3-point shot, they'll close out hard when he serves the up fake. And now with a clear lane to take off before meeting the backline defense, Ant keeps the ball high while using his body to clash with the defender, and with that hang time of his, he's able to absorb all that contact and still put this off the window for 2 points in close. This ability to take advantage quickly while being able to fight through contact at full speed is what separates good finishers from elite ones. And when we look at the finish on this play, it tells you everything. With Allen being a 6'10" rim protector, Ant could try and explode around him, but he doesn't. He goes right into his chest, bumping him hard out the way, and now it's practically a warm-up layup. That kind of physicality at the guard position forces defenses into impossible decisions. Do you give him space and let him build up a head of steam? Do you step up early and risk getting bodied? Or do you send help and leave shooters open? Honestly, there's no good answer, and that's exactly what elite offensive players do. They make it hard for the defense each and every time down the floor, and at that point, it's just pick your poison. And when shifting to his blow-by speed, it compounds the problem. Against Michael Porter Jr., who's obviously giving up this angle to the basket, Ant immediately bursts right past him to get into the paint to slam it through. And then other times, the use of a simple jab step can make his defender move over just enough for Ant to get started downhill, and with barely any resistance, Ant can go right past the help defense to lay it in. Now his acceleration can be a treat to watch, but it's not just the straight line drives that get Ant going. Watch this creation here. The crossover is first used to create the attack angle for Edwards, and now with Josh Hart sliding over to cut him off, Ant uses the stutter steps to keep the defense on their toes before Euroing right through the middle to get a bucket. This here is when Ant starts using that handle to manipulate defenders. You'll see it again as Hunter tries to stop him in transition, but that smooth crossover allows Ant to go right past him to lay it in with ease. When Looney steps up off that screen, Ant can use the crossover to break out downhill to go score. And let's just say the lane is clogged, Well, that's when the counters come into play, such as Euro steps, spin moves, and reverse finishes. His navigation skills when getting to the basket are truly endless. And before we go even deeper into his game, we have to highlight that scoring like this may make you want to place trades for the Wolves to win more games and not feel like you're rigged. So that's why you got to delete all those traditional sports books and come join Polymarket. They're the largest prediction market where you can use the knowledge from my analysis to make trades at real time on any game in any state. It's quite simple to make a trade. Like when the Timberwolves played the Grizzlies, I bought in at 59% odds. And with Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle catching fire and Ja Morant not playing, I knew this would be a good trade, as it led to a Wolves win for me to cash out at $542, so now I can go ahead and give me some wings. Polymarket makes it easy by displaying odds as percentages, and you don't get locked out like traditional sportsbooks will do to you, which means you can cash out at any time during the game or get in on the action after the game started. If you were to win big on a traditional sportsbook site, they'll take away $9 in fees, but Polymarket only takes away 10 cents. So yeah, use my code MASTERY10 when you sign up. No credit card, no deposit. Just make sure you use my code and come join the revolution with Polymarket. Now listen, we understand that his driving game in the half court can be something that punishes the defense time and time again, but once he's in a groove and can really start gunning, he can totally break you in transition as well. I'm talking about coast-to-coast slams, speed to the rim that defenses can't keep up with whatsoever, and he'll even split two defenders on the break just to show you that no one can stop him once he gets going. But here's what people miss. He's not just running and dunking, he's making quick decisions. While everybody is scrambling for the ball, Ant very well could cut to the rim, but he understands the defense is already backing up towards the paint, so he spots up on the outside, ready to catch and fire. That right there is showing you that he understands when to attack and when to space out. Since his scoring ranges from all three levels, he can pick apart the defense in any way he feels like it in these open court scenarios, and this is the part of Ant's game that adds even more separation from other guards in the league. He doesn't just operate in the half court, he's a legitimate weapon in transition, and when the Timberwolves get out and run, he becomes the most dangerous player on the floor. This nature of just getting to the basket is what most defenders will scout for when it comes to Edwards, but with his improved three-point shooting year to year, you now can't sleep on him at all from the outside. Like seriously, Ant can get scorching hot from deep. It doesn't matter if it's a pull-up from 30 feet for straight cash. When the defenders are in front of him, he doesn't mind using that handle to size them up before launching it right over them. And when referring to the clutch like we touched on earlier, Edwards welcomes the ISO opportunity to bury it home from deep. Yeah, when he's zoned in, he's unconscious. Step backs, the pull up off the screen, spot up bombs, catch and shoot threes. I mean really, he's got every type of three in his bag, and when the shot's falling, he looks like the best scorer in the entire NBA. When you have a guy who shoots 40% from deep on a solid volume of 8.4 threes per game, this is where it becomes one of the hardest tasks to guard him, as not only do you have to be ready to defend the drive if you get up on him tight, but also if you want to give yourself space to be ready to defend that attack, Ant can now pull up right over you, making you pay. When looking at great scorers, they always have many ways to attack a defense, especially when it comes time for playoffs where teams will scheme hard to throw you off your game. A big thing with Ant in the previous years was him just leaning on his driving skills and then resorting to the three-point shot when things got tough inside. But this year, Ant has came back with a much refined mid-range game where he can honestly get filthy. Like in past times, he would try and pull up right here off the screen, or he would try and attack Wemby all the way to the rim. But now we get to see Ant use his bag of tricks to serve it through the legs directly into a spin for the butterball fade. That's honestly not a shot most guards would even attempt, let alone make against an alien. In any way he wants, Ant can get into a shot from this in-between area, which makes the level of difficulty when guarding him that much higher. Such as if you crowd his space, he can bump you hard to make you fall back before sinking the bucket. If he starts to attack but ends up getting cut off by a help defender, here's where he can use that snatchback to create space before knocking it down. And if he is to get stopped on his drive, the play isn't over. He'll just spin back to bury home the turnaround J. This part of his game is what reminds people that Ant isn't just some athletic freak. He's someone who can use footwork, handle, and navigation on the floor to score in bunches. And trust me, it's not like he has to rush into these shots, as he spots where he wants to go and uses the necessary moves to get there, and at times, he'll use that post up to show defenders that he's mad versatile when it comes to scoring in that mid-range. All these ways of scoring on the floor is what keeps Ant in conversations as one of the best players in the NBA, but we have yet to see him get his team to the finals. He's 24 years old, so he still has time to make it happen. But the question is, does Ant have what it takes to do so? The athleticism is there, the confidence is there, the two-way impact is there at times also. And those are all things that separate good players from great ones. Right now, he's playing solid, but it will all matter when everything's on the line, which is in the playoffs. Let me know below if you think Ant is the one, and can he get his team to the promised land? As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.